Good morning, I'm Heidi Connect in the KWQC newsroom with your on-the-go headlines for Monday, June 15th. Gas prices in Iowa have dropped in recent weeks. According to AAA, the average price for a gallon of regular gas is $3.71 statewide. The cheapest prices in the viewing area are in Scott and Clinton counties. In other news, Macomb police asked the public for help finding a 16-year-old last seen riding his bike on Wheeler Street in Macomb on Saturday. Police have said on their Facebook page that the teen has been found. Also, the BIX at 6 training camp starts this week. Runners registered for this year's BIX can join hundreds of others on a secure training course. 4 training dates are available: June 18th, June 25th, July 2nd, and July 9th. The start and finish line is at 5th and Pershing Streets in Davenport. The BIX 7 is on July 25th. Muscatine officials continue to address a building issue that began last November. Mayor Brad Barks said 201 East 2nd Street will be taken down beginning this week. The fire department was called to the building for reports of a fire Saturday. When firefighters arrived, there was no fire, but they saw a portion of the exterior wall of one of the neighboring buildings fall onto the roof of the other as they continue to settle. The city closed the entire intersection at 2nd and Sycamore Streets in front of the buildings to allow the demolition contractor and utility crews access. The mayor said the demolition contractor will work throughout the week to tear the building down. The area is in mourning for loss of a World War II veteran, Leland Chandler of Galesburg. Chandler was a prisoner of war in World War II, having enlisted in the United States Army at the age of 18 near the beginning of the war. His obituary said he was stationed in the Philippines and captured there by the Japanese. Chandler and 400 others were prisoners of war for 3.5 years, working in a steel mill in Japan until the remaining 58 prisoners liberated themselves, stealing a train and taking it to American territory. Chandler also served as a fireman for 31 years at the Air Force Base. He eventually retired after 13 years as chief. Graveside service for Chandler will be private at the Rock Island National Cemetery. Chandler was 103 years old. A traffic alert for the area. Part of Locust Street in Davenport is reopening today. By 7 a.m., one lane in each direction will be available between Marlow and Pine Acre. If the weather cooperates, city officials said the entire road should reopen by next Monday. The Rock Island Arsenal Bridge is set to close temporarily on Friday. The bridge will close Friday from 6:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. for cleaning. Traffic will be closed to both walkers and drivers. Crews will be in place with flags and signs during this time to help guide traffic. This year's 4th of July will mark America's 250th birthday, and the Quad Cities is gearing up to celebrate. Red, White, and Boom will host events on July 3rd along the Davenport Rock Island riverfront, including live music, a kid zone, and food vendors. In Iowa, Bettendorf will host a parade at 10 a.m. on July 4th, with a fireworks show beginning at dusk. Muscatine has a day of festivities, including live music, food trucks, and fireworks. In Illinois, East Moline will host festivities on July 3rd at the Rock Island County Fairgrounds. Genesee will host Thrill on the Hill on July 3rd. Moline will host a community picnic on July 2nd, and Sterling Rock Falls will hold a fireworks show also on July 2nd. And now we'll look at weather in the Quad Cities area. Enjoy the quiet weather while it lasts. A series of cold fronts will keep things active across the Quad Cities this week, with our biggest concern arriving Wednesday as the potential for strong to severe storms develops south of Interstate 80. Monday's the pick of the week. We'll see increasing clouds throughout the day, but highs in the mid-70s and comfortable humidity levels will make for a pretty nice afternoon. That wraps up your on-the-go headlines for Monday, June 15th. In the KWQC newsroom, I'm Heidi Connect. The KWQC News on the Go gets you what you need to know for local news and weather while on the go. At KWQC.com for the most up-to-date details and more news from the Quad Cities and beyond. You can watch TV6 News, any newscast, anywhere, streaming live on KWQC or KWQC News mobile app and on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire. You can also find us on Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok.